So, what do you do for a living?
Well, Austin, I am a dentist.
So, tell me about how you got into your line of work.
Well, I always wanted to be involved in healthcare as a kid growing up, and I didn't know whether or not I was going to be a physician or a dentist, but I always knew I wanted to be a person involved in the delivery of healthcare. So later on in life, after having gone to college and taking the courses and the prerequisites for either pre-medicine or pre-dentistry, I decided to do dentistry.
How do you like your job?
I love it, man. I love it because I've gone through a lot of transitions in my job. I was in private practice for 20 years, and then after leaving private practice, selling my practice, I became the dental director for a community health center. And I did that for, let's see, I guess I did that for 9 years. After having done that, I became a full-time professor at the University of Tennessee College of Dentistry. So that's where I am now. I've been there for 4 years. Do you know what the University of Tennessee is?
Somewhere in Memphis.
It's in Memphis. That's right. University of Tennessee Health Science Center, College of Dentistry. It's in Memphis. Good job. Good job.
What do you think you're going to be when you grow up?
Well, when I was a kid, I always thought I was going to be a doctor, of some type. I knew I was going to be some type of doctor, whether it was a medical doctor, dentist, I don't know.
So, you think you are, so you are.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
What do you want to be when you grew up?
Same answer. Wanted to be a doctor.
What lessons has your life taught you?
Ooh, where do I start with that?
Maybe helping people is the best choice.
Yeah, that is a good one. Helping people is a good choice and teaches you patience. It teaches you, shows you how truly blessed you are. Over the years you get to meet a lot of people. You see people from all walks of life, and then you realize just how much God has blessed you by putting you in a position to be able to help others. And then you also see where you could have been in life, but by the grace of God. So, yeah, I really enjoy my profession. I enjoy being able to help others, and I just enjoy being able to work with young people like yourself, being able to tell them about my profession and tell them about how it takes hard work in order to make it in life, no matter what it is you're going to do. So do you study hard in school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to be a doctor, that's what you got to do. You got to study hard, make good grades, be serious, be focused, and listen to your teachers.
What do you do? What do you plan? Do you plan on retiring? If so, when do you feel about it?
Oh no, I'll be retired. I'll probably retire, possibly maybe about 8 years, something like that. Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure.
Do you have any favorite stories from your work life?
Any favorite stories from my work life? No, it's always a good thing, I guess, whenever you can meet a patient first day who doesn't feel good about their smile, and then over the course of your treatment, weeks later or months later, you're able to change that person's whole personality. Their whole demeanor changes just by you actually affecting their smile. So if you have a person who comes in and has no front teeth, and you restore or replace those teeth with either denture, full denture, or partial, or people come in with the teeth are sort of, let's say, discolored, broken down in the front, and you're able to do crowns or bridges or stuff like that to give them what I call $1 million smile for a fraction of the cost. That makes you feel good to make others feel good. Do you feel good when you can make somebody else feel good, make somebody else smile? Do you really? I do too. So I love that.
What is it? Wait, what's this word?
Ethnic.
What is your ethnic background?
My ethnic background is African American. Just like you.
Oh, I'm African.
American.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your mom's family from? Where's your dad's family?
Okay, both my dad and my mom's families are from Mississippi. My dad was from Prentice County, and my mom is from Lee County.
Have you ever been? Have you ever been there? What is that experience like?
Have I ever been to where they were born and lived? Oh yeah, I used to spend summers with my grandparents in a little town called Plantersville outside of Tupelo. So I would spend summers there, and of course, we'd be over there every other weekend. And then, of course, my dad's parents lived in my same hometown of Boonville. So yeah, I spent time at both places. So both sets of grandparents, grandfather, grandmother, on both sides, were played an active role in my life.
What traditions have been passed down in your family?
Traditions, first thing you start out with is, I think, the love of family. I mean, whether you want to call it a tradition or not, but family get-togethers and family feast, festive get-togethers. That's somewhat of a tradition in our family. Just like we're here today, families got together for the pre-New Year's Eve or New Year's Eve celebration where we all come together and we express how thankful we are for the things that have transpired in the year 2018. So that's one thing. The other thing is, our family, we have a tradition for serving God. Our families believe in God, believe in Christ, and we believe in the fellowship of the brethren. So that's a tradition. What else is? Oh, I would like to say hard work, and and discipline, self-discipline. What other questions you got for me, young nephew?
I got three more.
You got three more?
Who are your favorite relatives?
My favorite relatives are. Would you consider yourself one of my favorite relatives? I would too. So you're one. You're one of my favorite relatives. I've got a relative who was a big band leader who died in the 40s, and his name was Jimmy Lunsford, and he is buried in Elmwood Cemetery there in Memphis. He was actually poisoned by a white restaurateur, I guess you would say, and I believe it was in Wisconsin. So Jimmy Lunsford was a big band leader, and during that time, there were certain places that didn't want to serve African Americans or were considered blacks then, and his fans and his followers, they insisted that they be served, and they did serve him, but during the course of that, he was poisoned and lost his life. And can you imagine in the 1940s, he had his own plane, his own big band, he had his pilot's license, and he had it going on. Yeah.
Do you remember any of the stories that you used to tell you?
And the stories they used to tell. My dad and mom used to tell me a lot of stories. Tell me stories about our ancestors and, some of the challenges as well as some of the accomplishments. I'm also, I think I'm the second dentist that I know of in my family. On my mom's side, Quinny Randolph was in the class of 1926 from Meharry Medical College. And so he was a dentist down in what's the town? So actually in Vicksburg. He started out in, I'm trying to think of the catfish capital of the world. What's the name of that town?
Belzoni.
He started out in Belzoni, but he was people ran him out of Belzoni because he had involved himself in voter registration for blacks. So he was engaged in trying to, win over the rights for blacks to vote, and he was sort of run out of town. And so he moved to Vicksburg and started to practice there. And his name was Dr. Quinny Randolph, class of 1926, Meharry Medical College.
And this is the last one.
This is my last one. You got to get out of here. This is the last one.
What are your classic family stories, jokes, or songs?
Jokes or songs. I'll tell you a good joke. You know what? You might never believe this, but when I was in graduate school at Jackson State University, I got locked in the library. Locked up in the library. I went into one of those side rooms to study, and I fell asleep. So I fell asleep, and it had a big glass window, and when I woke up, I could see outside in the library through that window that it was dark, kind of dark, they turned the lights down. So I ran out of the room. I ran down the stairs only to find the front door locked. I could not get out of the library. So I was locked up in the library. How did I get out? You have any idea?
Maybe you found the key?
No, I looked around, couldn't find an open door anywhere. So I was afraid to try to go out a window, so I couldn't do that. I had to call security. I actually had to call the security to come and let me out. And when I called them, first of all, they hung up because they thought it was a joke. So then I called back again and said I was locked in the library. This is not a joke. So they finally came over, and then they sort of, like interrogated me. For 30 minutes, I would, at least, as if I had broken into the library. So I told them, had I broken into the library, I would have gone out the same way I came in. But they finally let me go, kept my ID. But I thought that was kind of funny. I didn't tell anybody for a long time. But when I did, they laughed. They said, that could only happen to you, Trip. That was funny. You didn't seem to find it funny. What else you got?
That's it.
That's it? Well, thank you, sir. Will I see this on YouTube, CBS, NBC, ABC? Which station? You don't have major network coverage? Oh my God, man, I wouldn't have sat down here if I wasn't going to be seen on a major network. I'm just kidding. Give me a hug. Oh, I love you, and you can't do nothing about it. Thank you.
You're welcome.